welcome to Shovelware Diggers. Our dig team is currently excavating the Softkey Shareware 2000 Hit Games 2CD collection. You can find a link in the video description listing the entire directory structure of this archive. So here's what our diggers have for week 232, but as you can see, things kind of went a little overboard. Well, sort of. For more information on how to join the dig team, simply follow the Patreon link in the video description. Now, without further ado, let's get to it. Our first dig from JP Ronnie is WINGAMES /comp/player. So despite the name, I'm not actually quite certain what this is going to be. Like, player? Like, what does that even mean? Oh, it's a screensaver. Okay, I want to do it that way, don't you? So what we do here is we go copy to C prompt Windows, because that's how you do this kind of thing in the old Windows days. We go to Control Panel and Desktop, and what's our screensaver show? So, okay, it was called, the file was called player, but I don't actually know what it added here? Give me a second. Okay, so apparently the screensaver added is the one right at the bottom of the list here called World Cup. So let's go to the setup here. There are no options to set. Okay then. Copyright 94 Quattro Computers for H.E. Klisman. And apparently a J. Cavagna. Okay then. So I guess we'll just test it. Okay. So, well, we got a guy walking onto the screen there. Got a bunch of player names for, I'm guessing, a FIFA World Cup thing. So we got the got a flag up at the top there. I think that's the Italian flag. Might be mistaken. And we got a guy walking across. He's still walking. Oh, there's another guy walking across now. So it appears that this screensaver is just this screen, which is going to be burned into permanence on your CRT monitor, because you can't get any more static image than this. And with a bunch of people, like tiny sprites running around. So yeah, this is about as good of a screensaver as leaving your desktop on your screen. As in, no, this would never save your screen at all. Don't use it. But since that one went by really fast, JP Ronnie's second dig is WINGAMES /comp/MBINGO. Let's hope for a little more meat on this one. MBINGO. Oh, we got a bunch of WAV files. That's a good sign. And a readme.bat for whatever reason. A readme.txt, file id.diz. What's the diz say? Math Bingo 1.0. A fun and easy way to learn math facts while playing bingo. You know, the funny thing is that I do actually remember in grade 1, like literally first grade, we were using bingo to teach math. Gambling for math in elementary school. What could be better? Well, of course, it wasn't really the same thing, but you know what I mean. Anyways, Math Bingo is a non-drill game in which the player is never penalized for an error. Voice messages are provided to reinforce learning. For more excitement, you may record your own sound effects using Windows 3.1 Sound Recorder. Okay, and apparently by a Dino Software, 1994. Okay then. So I'm guessing it's already been installed just from the fact that there's like an expand.exe here for like expanding an archive out, so yeah, I guess we'll just run it. Well, maybe we should read the README first. Well, most of the file seems pretty normal, but except for this warning right here. Warning, the Math Bingo window should be maximized at all times while playing the game. Decreasing the size of the window may cause part of the screen to disappear. Minimizing the screen and then subsequently maximizing by double-clicking on the Math Bingo icon is fine. I will be the judge of if this maximizes properly or not. And according to this, the registration fee for this game is $7, or $10 if you want the Pro version. which, according to the README, the Pro version is just a few more difficulty levels and a bonus game of sorts. It wasn't exactly clear on what it was. But anyways,
Welcome to Math Bingo.
Okay, we've got voice effects. Also, it started not maximized, but with a window that's taking up the full size of the screen. That's kind of weird. I guess there's not really much to go on here, so I guess we'll go play. So play against the computer. I am me. So we can do number recognition or addition. I guess number recognition. Okay, so do I have to punch in the free spot? I guess so. So now what?
There's one. Your turn.
Okay. I don't know, like, what? What? Oh, wait, am I supposed to be counting these? Is this, like, 14 little blocks, so I'm supposed to punch in the 14? I don't have a 14 on my card, though. I've noticed that there's repeats on the card. Like, look at this. The number 9 shows up 4 freaking times.
There's one. Your turn.
Okay, yeah, so you were just counting the things at the bottom here. So now I got 4, but again, I don't have 4 on my bingo card.
Yeah. Your turn.
Okay, now I got 15. So 15... Wait, are you freaking serious? I don't have 15 either? Okay, 13. Definitely have a 13. I only had the one 13.
Your turn.
Okay, 16. Oh, you're only allowed to punch in one of them at a time. That's kind of weird. So I'm not sure if we're just trying to make a line, or if we're trying to, like, clear the corners of the full card. But I guess we're going to find out sooner or later.
I have one. Your turn.
So one criticism I have so far is that it's actually kinda hard to count these, because this over here is 10 and this over here is 9, but because it's vertical and they're so close together, you can't just glance at it, you actually have to physically count it. Like, I mean, if there was a separation, like, for every, like, 5 of them, that'd make it a lot easier to figure out just by looking at it, but that's not what's happening here. You know, the other thing that's weird too is that, unlike in real bingo where everybody's playing their cards simultaneously, we're actually taking turns on different numbers, which, I mean, is kind of weird.
Your turn.
So we've actually managed to fill out our cards pretty well without actually getting a single straight line anywhere. Just kind of amusing, because it means certain numbers are just not coming up. There's a 20, so that should give me a line there.
Bingo!
And there we go. So yeah, I was just trying to make a line. So that was kind of weird. I guess we can also play it on, what was the mode? The addition mode. Okay, so now it's just flat out giving you the equation. So 2 plus 8 is 10. Okay, that's interesting.
Here's the answer.
If you actually, if you try to go ahead, but you have it on your playfield, it'll actually stop you a couple times, and if you keep trying, it'll just flat out tell you what the answer is.
Please check again. Please check
and now it's not gonna, it won't actually...
the answer.
Well, that's interesting. It just read through the same motion again without actually doing anything different. So yeah, it won't actually let you advance if you have one of the ones. If you can make a move, it won't actually let you advance. So that might kind of make sense for younger children, but you know, I just took a closer look at the computer player's board. Look at all the 4s. Like, the computer's entire, well, not entirely, but most of their success is hinging on a 0 plus 4, a 1 plus 3, or a 2 plus 2. Yikes. Oh, there's the 14 that I needed. So right there.
Oh, iPad.
And then the computer plays, and then that's it. So yeah, that was Math Bingo. It's very basic. It's not a very expensive program. The guy only wanted, what was it, $7? Something like that. So I guess if you've got a young children and you want to give them something to pass the time, then this would do it. There wasn't any need to... Oh, maximize it actually cleared the screen. But yeah, it didn't really need to be maximized like that, so I'm guessing it's probably, like, you know, a lot of these programmers putting this stuff together don't really realize how the, don't really realize how screen resolution is a factor. Like, they think that 640 by 480 is probably what people would have, but, you know, I was running 800 by 600 way back in the early 90s, so not everybody was stuck at 640 by 480. But yeah, as far as this goes, it's a basic game. Suitable for kids? Yeah, probably. But definitely not going to hold someone's interest for very long, other than child. Next up, Zinfidel ZT has dug up DOSGAMES /cards /bandit. I'd almost expect this to be a slot machine, except, well, it's in the cards folder. But you never know. It doesn't necessarily stop these people from doing this. Also, those are 86 dates. Jeez, this is going to be a really old program. So, Bandit. What have we got? Huh. Now that's interesting. So I wonder if anybody looking at this right now actually understands why this looks wrong. So what you're witnessing right now is what happens when a program tries to use that hacked 160 by 100 16 color CGA mode. Because it's not part of the CGA specification, it's just a trick you can do that most people didn't do, but we just found a 1986 game that does it. So I'm going to have to restart DOSBox to make this work properly, so give me a second here. Okay, I've got it restarted in CGA mode, so let's go in Bandit. So this is how it's supposed to look. So yeah, it's definitely using that hacked 160 by 100 CGA mode. So apparently push 1 to 9 to play or escape to end. What if we push 1? Oh, so that's just choosing how much we're going to spend. And that apparently won us nothing. So let's actually spend 9. And nothing. So that's kind of weird. You can't actually spend a multiple of 10? No, it gets mad if I try. Well, we'll do multiples of 5 then. So those are some cherries there. Yay, we got money. So yeah, this is like a really basic slot machine program with a rising jackpot. I did notice that. But yeah, you don't even get to see the arm get pulled or anything like that. It's like you just push the number to indicate how many coins you want to spend, and there you go. So yeah, this is about as basic gets for a slot machine, save for the fact that it's running in that strange CGA mode. Yeah. And yeah, that one went pretty fast too, so we gave Zinfidel ZT another dig. DOSGAMES /PB /Protec10. Well, it's in the PB directory, so it's probably a pinball game of some kind, or something to do with balls. We got a readme, we got a protec.exe without the T on the end, so it's not protect, it's just protec. Kind of like pro technology, something like that. Also a bestel.txt, I don't know what that's about. Also an order.txt, so let's start by editing the readme.txt. So protec readme.txt. Full version of protec contains no shareware notices, 4-player mode, 3 balls per player, visible high score table, full game description. And the controls. C or 1 through 9 to increase credits. Space to start new game. Minus plus decrease increase striker. I'm guessing the plunger. Enter the launch ball, control, left and right flipper. Wait, oh, the left and right control keys. Okay. The shift keys are to bump left and right. And then you get a high score table in the full game. And that's about most of what you need to know. So, there was also an order.txt. What's that about? So apparently this game was made in Germany by Wilfried Lautermoser? Not sure how to pronounce his last name there. And apparently the price for this was I don't know how much that translates to in dollars. Although given the fact that it's just one there for the cost inside Germany, I'm gonna guess that these are not very high fees. So low cost game from the looks of it. But anyways, Pro Tech. I don't understand any of that. So I'm guessing enter to continue. And there's controls. I'm guessing again, enter to continue. ProTac is setting up our engine. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. This looks promising. So we got a pinball table with a fairly basic layout from the looks of it. It's kind of a weird positioning of the flippers. And we also seem to have some computerized graphics going on here. Correct me if I'm wrong with this. Looks like it's running in 640 by 480 as opposed to 640 by 350, which would make it a VGA display mode, which wouldn't be very common for this kind of stuff. Not a lot of games use 640 by 480. Okay then, so I guess enter a credit. Oh, there was already 4 credits in there. So, okay. Oh no, that just put more credits in. Okay, there we go. So we can adjust the plunger setting using the numeric keypad, and then enter. Okay. Whoops. I forgot, it's the control keys, not the shift keys. So let's try that again. And fire the ball. Whoa, hang on. For some bizarre reason, I've only got one flipper working. Okay, that's weird. So the other... For a moment I thought maybe it was like mixing up the control keys, like maybe left, because it's being emulated, left control is coming through as the right control key is going through as the left control key, but the right control key doesn't do anything. Yeah, that's the right control key, it's doing nothing. So I don't have a right flipper. That's gonna severely cramp my ability to play this. Also, I'm already out of the... Did I already launch 3 balls? Maybe I did. And maybe there's an alternate control I can use for the flipper. I'm just pushing buttons now, seeing if maybe something works. Nope, none of the other controls work, so I don't have a right flipper. That's... yeah, well, I'll try to do my best without a right flipper, but I suspect this is not going to go well. One thing I do have to say, watching the path the ball is taking, is the physics are not bad. Like, or hang on, what just... the ball just sort of stayed there for a second for whatever reason. That was weird. Oh, did I accidentally put a second... No, I did. For some reason I thought I put a second player in by accident. Guess not. But yeah, the physics are actually not that bad for a digital pinball game. Oh, I'm not going to be able to... No! No, you only get 2 balls per play. That's weird. Like, most pinball machines, you would get 3 balls per credit, but here you only get 2 balls per credit? So, we'll launch it. do the best we can with just one flipper, which not gonna happen there. Oh, did it just do an... Or it might not have been... Or no, I think it was. I think it actually did, like, Yeah, I think it actually did the, what do you call it? A lot of pinball machines have this feature where if the ball gets shot into play but doesn't hit anything and drains, it won't actually count against the player. So they'll actually get the ball returned to them so they can plunge it again. I'm not sure the reasoning why pinball machines do this. I think it's just so that the player actually has the luxury of hitting something and earning some kind of points per ball instead of just constantly draining or whatever. But yeah, so on a real pinball machine, if you don't hit a switch, then you get the ball back. And on some pinball machines, it's actually like multiple switches. You actually have to hit like 3 switches before it will actually count against you. Okay, so that was Pro Tech. It'd be nice if I could show more of it, but with only one working flipper, well, not working at the moment, with only one working flipper, that's kinda hard to do. It looks like this is actually pretty competently done, but again, without the other flipper working, I'm not sure. I can't really show much of it. But like if anyone else has played this one before, let me know if there's like a way to get that right flipper working, because I thought it might have been like an emulation thing, and it probably still is an emulation thing, but it's not the emulation thing I thought it was. So no idea what's up with that. And our last dig for today from James Dunn is DOSGAMES /arcade3 /Zephyr 2. Why do I feel like I've played this before? Like, it's obviously not the main Zephyr game that I played on Ancient DOS Games, but I almost feel like we've played something like this before. We got a doc file and a register.doc. So let's go edit Zephyr2.doc. What have we got? Zephyr version 1.0 by Eugene Lin. Zephyr 2, The Final Battle, is a high-quality arcade-style game. Wait, is it the first Zephyr or Zephyr 2? Now I'm confused. Featuring spectacular 256-color BJ graphics, mouse control, dozens of audio effects, multiple levels of play, high-speed sprite system capable of manipulating and displaying up to 200 sprites simultaneously, and this feels very familiar for some reason. Yeah, I've got a funny feeling we've seen this before, so this could end up being an auto-fail. In which case, you guys will never know. But it all depends on what it actually looks like. So let's just see what the other doc file is quickly. Register.doc. Apparently this game is $20. Again, that also sounds familiar. Oh well. Let's see what we got here. Zephyr 2. So System 256, and we got Zephyr by Eugene Lin. Kind of an interesting title effect there. It's not going anywhere, so I guess I gotta hit a B. Hit a button. Hit a B. Yeah, we've definitely played something like this before. But... Huh. You know, is it just me? Like, looking at how this is playing right here, is it just me or does this look different? Like, it's not just me, is it? Like, we've clearly played a game like this before. Like, very much like this before. But still, something seems different. I'm not sure what the goal is here, like, if I'm just trying to destroy as many targets as possible. Like, obviously it's taking after, Space Harrier and other games of that nature, but... yeah, so far it's just, me moving around at random, shooting stuff. Like, I am technically shooting. Like, you see those little blue specks that appear, that sort of trail where I am, and, well, those are my shots. I've also noticed that going anywhere near the bottom of the screen is a death sentence because of the fire pillars. So, definitely avoiding the bottom of the screen. Oh, I think I got a boss up here now. Because it's got this thing moving back and forth in a diagonal pattern. It's not going away, and it's taking lots of shots, and there we go, level complete. So what's level 2 look like? Ooh, that's a bright shade of cyan. And a bright shade of green for the grass. You know, the funny thing is, it's actually kind of hard to get hit, because your shots always go right in front of you. Like, this isn't actually 3D. It's just feigning 3D. But... because, yeah, if anything shows up in front of you and you've got shots flying, you're just going to shoot it. So, it's actually surprisingly hard to get hurt, intentionally, if you're firing your shots. Unless you're near the ground, because then everything kills you. And that's game over. And I get a little game over message floating on cyan. Okay. So we've clearly played a game like this before, but now I gotta go check and see if it's actually like the same game, because this felt the same and yet different at the same time. Okay, so take a look at this. There apparently is a folder called Zephyr 20 on this CD, and it apparently has a version 2.0 of the game, which makes no attempts to call itself Zephyr 2. And on top of that, it's also saying that it can manipulate and display up to 1,000 sprites simultaneously in even bigger sizes. So, yeah, and I think if we run this... so yeah, it's actually a different title screen that actually does say version 2.0 on it. And yeah, look at that. It's almost like it's like got the same background to it, but except it's got the massive explosion with the title there. And then we had that fade out effect there. And yeah, the graphics are actually different, and even the enemy patterns are different to some extent. Like, there's a lot of similarities, like the enemies themselves have the same graphics, but... and yeah, the shield effect actually works properly now when you get hit. So yeah, and it looks like the scaling effect works better in this game as well. Not to mention the enemy shots have this sort of spinning effect so that you can see them properly, whereas in the older version they didn't spin, they were just sort of stationary. I've also noticed that the dragon enemies, like the multi-segmented dragon enemies from the first version of the game, don't seem to exist here. So that's kind of interesting, that he actually got rid of a particular enemy. Although, to be fair, it probably was to make it less like Space Harrier. Well, enemy ahead. I'm guessing that's the boss. Actually, that's the boss right there. So, shoot it down. I'll at least try to. I got plenty of lives, so... okay, so there's the level complete. Are we going to have the same solid side? No, we actually have a gradient to the background now. Also, the trees are different. And the shots are different, too. So yeah, we've technically already seen this game, but we just saw an earlier version of it. Now, I guess I could technically put the two games side by side on the screen right now, and that way we can actually see them both at the same time, just to sort of get a comparison going. But yeah, so we've actually got two completely different versions of the same game on the CD here. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, when it comes to digging up this old shovelware, one of the things that happens in the background, which most of you don't see, is what's referred to as autofails. Basically, if somebody digs something up that we've already seen before, and I actually remember that we've seen it before, then it's considered as an autofail. In which case, it doesn't actually end up on the show because I don't want to waste time just rehashing old stuff, right? But in the event that something is a repeat of a game we've seen, but has new material, but it's like different in some way, like noticeably different and worth looking over again, then yeah, I'll take another look at it just to see what the differences are. And that's kind of the situation we got here. So yeah, that was Zephyr version 1.0. And comparing it to Zephyr 2.0, which we've already seen, it's still a graphically impressive game, or technically impressive game for DOS times, but is otherwise pretty basic when it comes down to it.